Hello, everyone. What is going on? What is really going on? I mean, I know that most of you are keeping a level head about this, and then there's some people who feel violent and they want to retaliate to all the things that are going on. You hear somebody out there screeching, driving crazy. People right now, they just have no respect for the law, period. I do not, under any circumstance, condone someone killing someone doing something that they shouldn't do. If a person is being unlawful, then they should be detained properly and taken to jail and dealt with appropriately within the means of humanity, basically. But I think, without sounding like I'm not supporting or without sounding like I'm siding with one group or another, what I will say is that there's some immoral and corrupt people on both sides, in the law and in the world. And when it comes down to it, as I've stated before, you have got to use your own mental capacities to your free will to know that what you're about to do is right or wrong. Whether you're a police officer or a lawbreaker or a law abider, black, white, Mexican, whatever. It's there's so many messages that are going on right now, and we have got to stay. You know how my titles always say stay. We have got to stay on the side of righteousness. Stay righteous. Don't turn things around so that you can become unrighteous or unlawful or what have you. I mean, some of the things that I've seen are deplorable, and I can't even watch it anymore because it is getting to the point where I feel sorry for the underdog, and whoever the underdog is at that moment is the person I'm feeling sorry for. So it doesn't matter, because I have a heart, and I have not saying that anybody else doesn't, but I'm saying I know myself, and I am very compassionate towards fellow man, and it's very hard for me to see the wrong because I don't think that way. So just because I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it doesn't resonate with me to go out here and think, oh, that's a police officer, he must be wrong, he must be rogue, or go out and say, oh, he's black, he must be a criminal, or he must have done this or done that. I mean, I've seen some things that I've seen from all races. I can't believe that people do, because that is not something that resonates with me, period. There are groups, even in the Senate, that Hillary Clinton backed. $800,000 allegedly gave to AFTA, I think it is, or something like that. If not, I'll update the name correctly in my post. But she gave money to these groups, and some of these groups are the ones going around causing fires. So I guess what I am trying to say here is that right now, let's just say, okay, that you have a choice of being on the righteous side or the unrighteous side. Which side are you going to select? The reason I say that is because you have got to understand that there is a challenge here of sovereignty, but really, when you go to the higher picture, it has nothing to do with humans, let alone government. It doesn't. Either you're going to be on the side of righteousness or not. And so there is a war between righteous and unrighteous. And if you are a God-fearing person or a Christian and you believe in God, then the sovereignty of God is being challenged. It has been since the beginning of time. And when I think about COVID, this is the interesting part. I think of it as a preamble for us to be able to redo things, so to speak. So in other words, we got a chance to be with our families, become more acclimated with things around the house that we hadn't done, and just to cook more, to buy our own foods and cook and things like that. And when you think about it, in Isaiah, it says you'll plant your food so you'll eat, you'll build your houses so you'll live in them. So things that were deemed to be righteous many, many years ago have always set mankind up to do the things that you should have been doing. There should not be any accolades for you taking your kids to school or sitting down with them and enjoying the time with them and reading to them, or cooking a home cooked meal for your family, or cleaning, or any of those things. Those are things that are deemed necessary to have a household. But because we've gotten so busy out in the world and have become so engrossed in the luxuries and the materials of the world, we've gotten to a point where we're like, oh, I have to strive hard so that I keep up with the Joneses. And no longer are we thinking about the righteousness of our lives, of our human side, because there are things that we need. We need to eat right, exercise, spirituality, sleep, all these things in order to stay healthy, happy, and successful. But you cannot leave righteousness out of it, because your righteousness is what helps to build the morality in your family, to set those morals and values. And right now, look at the world. There are no morals and values being used right now, because you have officials that are burning stuff up. And I really don't understand it all in the capacity that it is being done, because again, it does not resonate with me. But this is what I understand, and what I know, regardless of what's going on, is that you have people in the Senate that are hired to go out being paid to tear up the world, because 3 officers should have been arrested instead of 1 officer. Now, I don't know what they used to determine this 1 officer, that killed George, but I'm sure that there, again, let's just put it like this. And I'm going to just use something generic, because I'm telling y'all, I cannot handle, and it don't have nothing to do with my complexion or none of that, because I'm lighter than someone that might be browner. It don't have nothing to do with that. But I just want to keep it neutral. Let's just say we had 3 teenagers, and these 3 teenagers were at the mall, and one of them stole something, and they were caught. When they were caught, they were with the other 2 people that were caught, that were with them. Don't get me wrong. Don't go there. I'm not comparing stealing to murder. No, I'm not. There's a point, and this is a preface to my point. Okay. So all 3 of them are together when they're caught, but only one of them stole something. Okay. So with that being said, regardless of race, age, creed, color, gender, anything, regardless of any of that, as a mother, all y'all's ass is getting beat. Okay, all y'all's ass is getting in trouble, because y'all was all 3 together, and if one of you didn't talk the other one out of it, then you just as guilty, because you stood there, and you're guilty by association. Point blank and period. So now when we talk about things in the government and this police officer and George and all these different things, I'm not sure what they're using to determine why these other 2 are not guilty, or whatever. And I get that there are some political groups out there starting fires and havoc to make it look like it's other people or whatever they're doing. And then people are jumping on the bandwagon because they're pissed off, because really they're sick of being stuck inside with COVID. Now they don't want to believe in it. Okay. Bottom line is, if you were in that group, now we're talking about murder. We're not even talking about stealing some candy or some gum, some deodorant, some toothpaste. We ain't even talking about that. We're talking about being in a group of people that we are supposed to trust, that are supposed to take care of us, and you don't stop him from killing this man. Okay, I can't even watch the video. When stuff like that comes out, I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot. But what I do know is right is right and wrong is wrong. But the reality is you. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? Are you going to go out and become the wrong with the wrong? Because if you are, you're not going to fix it. It's not going to get done right. And the only way, I feel like all of us in the whole wide world, we could stand up as one and unify. We could all come together and say, hey, this is what we're going to do and what we're not going to tolerate. We can actually be the people. But at the same time, we have this history of racism. And the history of racism is not going to go away if everybody participates. And there are ways to get these people out of office and out of the police force and different things like that. There are ways to do that, and you have to stand on the side of righteousness. You have to stay righteous. I get it, y'all. Trust and believe me. When somebody cuts me off on the highway, I want to get out and fight. So I get the fact that there are people that want to fight because of the immoralities that are going on with color and with gender and different things like that. And you know, the people that aren't even in our race, I appreciate that, but at the same time, you got people that aren't even happy about that. So there's so much shit with this. Okay, so how deep are you willing to go when it's so much easier to stay righteous, to stay on the side of righteousness that is going to give you peace of mind? You don't have to be out in them streets doing the things that people are doing that are vile and violent. You know, there are people that are just angry because you're you. There are people that are angry because you look the way you do. There are people that are angry because of this, because of that. Who knows? Who cares? But you know what? You can stand on the side of righteousness, and you can make a difference for not only yourself, but your family, for those that don't have someone to look up to. I mean, just think about that. And I'm not saying it was just young people, but hell, half of us old people, hell, we can't get out there and beat nobody up because we hurting our damn selves. Backs, legs, arms, shit, everything else. So if these are just young people or whatever it is, I mean, we have to be an example to them because they're not listening to whoever it is that they should be listening to. So we've got to be an example. And I know that there are other ways to do things, but I know for sure to be righteous. I mean, I have so much food in my house, I don't ever have to leave. But at the same time, I don't want to be a prisoner in my own home either. And right now, we're being prisoners in our own home. And if you don't understand, that there are people in the government that are telling you what's going on, but because so much stuff is going on, nobody knows what to believe. This is not over by a long shot. And so what you have to decide right now is, what side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the side of righteousness? Are you going to be on the side of unrighteousness? Because if you're going to be on the side of unrighteousness, guess what? Let's just do another. I want to say scenario, but that's not the word I want to use. I'm going to say scenario. Let's do another depiction of life right now. Okay, let's just say, the Bible talks about Armageddon. I don't know what other types of people are out there, that and what they call the end of the world, or if they say life is going to die or whatever. But I'm just going to go by what I know, and you can, twist it. Oops, not twist, but you know what I'm saying. You can fix it so that it resonates with you, because it's a very valid point. So let's say that this is Armageddon, and all of our life we've been taught that Armageddon means that the whole world will be destroyed and all these people will be killed and only the good people get to stay. However, let's say that the world doesn't get destroyed and this is an Armageddon, and anybody that is righteous gets to live and anyone that's unrighteous doesn't. So if in fact we're in that time where you have to prove that you're righteous or unrighteous, think about what the end result is going to be. Because why are you fighting to keep someone alive with the same thing that killed someone? Why are you fighting to keep a race alive with the same things that are killing that race? Okay, you're you're getting, anger, like the hatred brings on anger, and your anger is bringing on stupidity. And so as a group of individuals, African Americans, um, Anglo-Saxon, Latinos, whatever, we have got to stand on the side of righteousness, and we have to pull people on that side in order for us to be the stronger force. Because right now you have righteous and then unrighteous, and if there's more unrighteousness than there is righteousness, then it's going to overtake everything. But you cannot get rid of the fact that there is a higher power than all of us who will step in. And when they step in, where are you going to be? Where do you want that higher power to find you? Do you want to find yourself in a forever place that can bring you peace and happiness, which is righteousness? Or do you want to find yourself unable to enjoy those fruits that you have fought so hard for on a moral level? Fighting now immorally is not the ideal way to go, guys. It's not. And I just pray and I hope that you stay righteous. I mean, we are being prisoners in our own home right now because of the stupidity, not only of the civilians, but of the authoritative figures. Now, that is some shit when we can't even say that the authoritative figures are protecting us. And I'm not saying that there aren't good ones. Please don't take it that way. But I am saying that we can't trust people. We can't trust the civilians, and we can't trust the authority. So we've got to build a strong unit on the side of righteousness so that we know where we can go to depend on safety. But right now, I mean, it's in our homes. There's no need to go outside. There's no need to do anything. Beautify your homes, make things right. There are so many issues going on in the world right now. And, some people believe that they are trying to get rid of the black race because there are interracial couples that are making babies. And now, if this black man who's rich is married to this white woman who's not, or who could be, now it's her money because they have kids, and now they become one unit who are now brown people, and they're no longer African American people. So regardless of what that is, and I don't have anything against interracial couples. I mean, obviously I'm mixed with something, but that has nothing to do with it. The point is, whoever you are, whatever you believe in, you still could stay righteous. If you choose to be crooked and to dibble and dabble into those things that the government, the politicians of the world, civilians of the world are doing to get even, you are fighting a battle that's a losing battle, because I assure you, the higher power that is a godly higher power is definitely not ranking you. He is not ranking you. He is not ranking us. So whatever you believe in, you got to find the righteousness in it, people, because right now what's going on is not righteous. It is not righteous at all. So be righteous, stay righteous. Listen to my music. I am Deana Marie, DeanaMarie. It is very powerful and it's eclectic, and there's more to come, and I'm going to keep you posted. But it's not just plugging myself. I'm telling y'all, stay righteous, because there is no greater sense of mind than a peace of mind. I love you. Stay safe. Stay calm. Stay righteous. Bye-bye.